Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Calvin Tobin Show. I am your host, Calvin Tobin. Today we have a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. Oh, right. Yesterday in the NHL, we saw a couple different things that we don't normally see. And the first thing that we saw was that the Dallas Stars ended up scoring 10 goals on the Buffalo Sabres. 10 goals. And they ended up whooping the Buffalo Sabres 10-4. The other thing that we saw that we don't normally see is the Boston Bruins personally shut out Connor McDavid, not allowing him to get a single point throughout the entire game. And because of that, Connor McDavid has now just got his 7th game on the season where he did not get a single point. But other than that, out of the rest of the NHL of what happened last night, 11 games played out, and 7 of those games were won by 1 goal, and 4 of the 7 games went into overtime, and 2 of those 4 overtime games ended up going to a shootout. But out of all the games that you could have watched, the one that you wanted to watch was the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Las Vegas Golden Knights. And the reason is that Tampa Bay has been in a huge slump, and they're trying to find every way and any way to get back into the win column because they have lost 9 of their last 12 games, and they almost had a dub last night, but Las Vegas was able to squeak out the victory, beating them 4-3 in overtime. Now, Tampa Bay almost winning this game, the victory for Las Vegas, it didn't come easy for them, even in Tampa Bay's slump, because Las Vegas was able to start off this game with a quick goal, scoring their first goal of the game 27 seconds into the game, but it didn't take that much longer for the Tampa Bay Lightning to get on the board, and that was thanks to Braden Point, and he was able to score Tampa Bay's first goal of the game to tie it at 1 apiece. And because of that, of their first goal of the game, thanks to Braden Point was able, got his 40th goal of the season, and he became the 6th player this season to reach the 40-goal mark. Now, what happened? Now, what else happened in this game is Tampa Bay and Las Vegas constantly raced up and down the ice, battling for shots, battling for the puck. And when one side of the puck scored, the other side didn't take that much longer to be able to match it. And here's the thing: we only saw scoring at the very beginning of the game and at the very end of the game. Otherwise, you were seeing constant breakaway shots that did not fall. And we saw both of these teams constantly bashing, hitting, and continuously trying to hurt each other throughout the entire game. And because of how much hitting was done and the type of hitting that was done in that third period, we saw a huge fight break out in the middle of that third period. And this fight was so aggressive and so big, the entire arena erupted. And this fight was so damn aggressive that 10 different players ended up having a misconduct penalty. And if it wasn't for this game going into overtime, every single one of those 10 players would have just been out for the rest of the game. But they were able to come back into overtime. And here's the thing: because of all those misconduct penalties, you would not, and if you didn't see this fight, you would not believe of how many minutes were committed in this game. Because the total minutes that were committed in this game were 146 minutes. That's not normal at all. Usually you see between 10-25, and 25 is usually a bad game for a team. 146 minutes. Las Vegas had 75 and Tampa Bay had 71. But other than the crazy fight that we witnessed in that third period, we saw two different onslaughts go on, and there was one by each side. Las Vegas was able to get the first one going as they scored 2 goals in 3 minutes, putting them up 3-1 over Tampa Bay. And then Tampa Bay scored 2 goals in 2 minutes in the final 2 minutes of the game. And Tampa Bay ended up coming in clutch for themselves, because when they started this 2-goal scoring onslaught, this is when they had an empty net, and Las Vegas could have wrapped this game up in regulation very easily, but Tampa Bay was able to push this game into overtime, tied at 3 apiece. But when overtime came, the Lightning lost this game, unfortunately, in unlucky fashion, because when the final shot happened, the puck was able to sneak right through Vasilevsky's leg, and Alec Martinez saw the puck, and he was able to have a final push for the goal to go into the net, and this is what got Las Vegas the victory, beating Tampa Bay 4-3. And if Andrei Vasilevsky was any faster to reach that puck, this game would have continued on and potentially went to a shootout. But because of Las Vegas beating Tampa Bay in overtime 4-3, they are now 1 game shy of reaching 40 wins. And now we have a couple of teams that are 1 shy of winning 40 games on the season, and that's the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Las Vegas Golden Knights. But while the NHL regular season is coming to a close, in college basketball, the conference tournaments are just getting started, and we saw rounds 2 and 3 depending on the conference. And out of all the games that happened, we saw 2 upsets and we saw 1 ranked game. The 2 upsets that we saw was TCU beat Kansas State, and Iowa State beat Baylor again. Now, in the ranked game that was when the number 22 TCU Horned Frogs beat the number 12 Kansas State Wildcats 80-67, and got the revenge on Kansas State after they got whooped by them by 21 just a month prior. And how this game played out was Kansas State started out this game hot, going on an 11-2 run, but TCU held in there, and they slowly gained their ground and eventually got the lead. And because of Kansas State is known for losing and continuously turning over the ball, this is what gave TCU so much advantage to win this game. And this was one of those games that Kansas State could not afford any turnover, because TCU is the best fast break team in the country. And how the rest of this game played out is that TCU, because of them continuously capitalizing off those turnovers, that their lead just slowly and gradually got bigger and bigger as the game went on, and had a lead as big as 16 in the game. But here's the thing. It's a good thing that TCU has one of the best passing teams in the country to be able to throw their teammates open and get the open shot, but you can only go so far in winning a game and being able to score a basket, let alone win a game, when you have 19 turnovers in a single game. And here's the thing. TCU's consistency on the scoring was what really helped them the most, because they went on multiple different scoring runs. They had an 11-2 and a 12-4 scoring run in the first half, and then they had a 13-4 scoring run in the second half. And that fast break was what made the scoring even easier, and that's why TCU was able to beat Kansas State by 13. And TCU's defense held Kansas State in there for only so long because Sills had 4 blocks. No, Howell had 3 steals, but here's the thing, that only took them so far, and because of all those turnovers happening, because of all those turnovers, the TCU Horned Frogs will be the ones playing the Texas Longhorns in the 3rd round of the Big 12 Conference, and that game starts tonight at 9:30, and we're going to see who is truly going to become the Big 12 champion as those 2 teams battle it out. All right, that's the end of the Calvin Tobin Show. Please subscribe to my channel at Calvin Tobin Show so you don't miss out on any sports media. And please follow me on Instagram at Calvin Tobin Show so you don't miss out on any sports news whatsoever. And I'm out.